Over the past month, AI technology has been taking the internet world by storm. So many different industries are going to be hardcore disrupted by artificial intelligence. So what I want to do with this video, I want to share with you some of the top AI tools that can be used as extensions that you can use on a day-to-day basis so that you can be more productive, it'll save you more time, and really produce a higher quality output of work. Now, before we go ahead and get started, make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and let's go ahead and dive right in. First tool that I want to introduce to you is a very powerful tool called Merlin, right? So what it is, it's an OpenAI ChatGPT tool that can be used as a extension. So basically how it works is that if you are going to go on Twitter, for example, you basically press some of the shortcuts over there and this prompt will pop up on your screen. Now, normally when you want to use ChatGPT, which is one of the most popular AI software right now, you're gonna have to go to the website, log in, put a chat prompt in there. So it's a lot of steps. You have to go to a separate website to actually get there. Now with this extension, you're gonna be able to use ChatGPT from anywhere in your browser, right? So let's say you're on Twitter, for example, and you want to reply to someone's tweet, but maybe you're having trouble writing that copy. You can actually just open up the prompt and then ask the ChatGPT to write a tweet for you. You can say like, hey, rewrite this tweet, but make me sound really smart or make me sound like I'm Elon Musk, and it will write it for you right on the page, right? And so this is very powerful because when it comes to AI, it's all about reducing the friction of using the technology. And the way I see this is instead of going on a website, understanding all these prompts and all the nerdy stuff, people are just going to be able to use a Chrome extension, press one button, this thing pops up, and it'll just say, hey, I want to DM this person to offer my products or services, write me a cold DM so I can message this person on Twitter really quickly. So you can kind of see there's many different use cases. The point is that the faster you can use ChatGPT, faster you have an idea onto your computer, that is essentially the name of the game when it comes to productivity, right? Without ChatGPT and all this technology, you have to go in, sit down, think about, what am I going to write for this tweet? Let me write a couple drafts, and then finally you send something, right? So maybe it'll take you 5 minutes. But with ChatGPT, maybe you might say, hey, I want to write a tweet that's funny, that's related to this topic, and boom, it's done in like 5 seconds. And then you're tweeting, and then it also probably will be better using the AI than if you were to write it by yourself if you are not trained in copywriting, right? So with this, right, it's going to have the same exact power as ChatGPT because that's where it's pulling all the resources from. So if you can solve math problems with that, you can write sales copy, you can ask questions on the fly without having to go to the ChatGPT website. So you think of it like almost like a form of Google that just pops up, and then you just write a question in and it'll give you an answer. So it's very quick indeed. So definitely you want to check out Merlin, and it's free to use. So just add it onto your Brave or Chrome extension and you are good to go. Next tool that we're going to have for you is going to be this tool called Summarize. Now Summarize, all it really is you add the Chrome extension to your browser, and then from there you can press a button and then it will summarize the copy for you. So this is going to be good for anybody who does any type of research. Let's say you're researching for someone, you work at a company, maybe you're a financial analyst and you just want to summarize a very long blocky text into like one pager. Or if you're someone that has to write PowerPoints, for example, you need just the quick download so you can take the main points, put it into your PowerPoint. Summarizing is always a powerful tool, especially if you're someone that has to read lots of dense material or learn something new, especially if you are writing anything, doing any research, doing any PowerPoint. So definitely check out Summarize. Now, the next tool that I have for you is going to be Jasper. So Jasper is quite interesting because they have an artificial intelligence. I don't believe it's copy AI, it's their own technology. They basically created this UI, UX for AI, right? And so what I mean by that is when you use ChatGPT, or even if you use like Merlin, for example, you have this prompt, right? So it's like a blank slate and you have to type in something to get something back. So what they did that was quite interesting is they layered a user interface and user experience on top of that. So if you want to, let's say, summarize a text, or if you want to use an ADA framework, which is just like a format to write copywriting for marketing, right? You can try this template, and then from there it will give you different prompts and it basically set you up from a template perspective. So you just fill it in and it will give you something very specific back, right? So if you want to do a product description, for example, it would just, you put in your keywords, then it will, write a product description maybe for Amazon, right? So this is more user friendly for people that don't really know how to use the AI that well, but they're willing to pay the extra premium to use these templates and things like that just to save them time and make it easier. And as you can see from the templates that they have, you can improve your content, you can have blog ideas, LinkedIn bio. So literally anything when it comes to written text, I can probably do that for you. And the interesting part here is that it's able to also do art, right? So if you're someone who does Facebook advertisements or Google advertisements, you're gonna have to write the copy, the headline, which you can use with Jasper, and then you're gonna have to create, different images that go with that headline. And so what you can do is say, hey, give me an image related to these dog pet toys, for example, and then it'll give you images that you can use for your Google ads or Facebook ads or whatever it may be. So it's kind of like a one-stop shop when it comes to like AI generated creativity, especially when it comes to like commercial services like landing pages, advertisements, blog posts, and things like that. So it's definitely powerful and it's much more easier to use because it's going to give you all these prompts and just make it that much easier, right? So you just fill in the information that you need. You don't have to know all the parameters in AI. They do all the work for you in that front, but you have to pay a premium for that if you are interested in using Jasper as a tool. Now, the next tool that I have for you is one that I've been using quite a lot over the past year, and it's going to be called DeepL. So DeepL is one of the best translators I've found, and for me, it actually worked a lot better than Google Translate. So if I were to use DeepL and I say, hello, I want to build a new software product, right? It's just a random example. And so, I'm right now it's translating into Japanese, and then I can basically just use that, copy and paste it to people that I work with, right? And why this is so powerful is, number one, the translations are pretty accurate. So it's very easy to communicate with someone. And I know personally, because when I was working on some art projects earlier last year, basically what I did was I found an artist I liked in Japan, but he didn't speak any English and I don't speak any Japanese. So when I gave him feedback on the art and gave him direction of like what I want to do, because I was the creative director for this project, I would basically give the feedback in English and kind of write these lines over here and show them like what I need to change. And then I would also write copy and paste it in Japanese using DeepL, right? And so in this way, when you're communicating with people on Discord, Slack, online, whatever the case is, and you're not actually talking with them on the phone, which a lot of businesses done that way, especially for freelancers and stuff, you can actually just copy and paste the text into a DeepL or something like that, which has accurate translations, and they're going to be able to get the main idea and actually do the thing that they need to do. And so I completed this project from start to finish, translating everything to Japanese, never talking to this person on the phone, and everything went pretty smoothly. And so that's how powerful these translation softwares are going to be, especially if you're working online. You don't even notice the difference between if people speak different languages if the translation is that good. So DeepL is something I can personally recommend that I've used for over the last year, and it's super, super good. Now, another interesting tool that I found over here is going to be an editing software using AI, and it's going to be called Descript. So here's the interesting part. When you're making a YouTube video or a podcast or something like that, sometimes you make mistakes during the podcast itself, right? And maybe you said something you shouldn't and you want to change it, but you can't because it's already recorded and the editor has a recording. How can they change it? So what you can do with this software is you can take audio from someone's voice and then you can type text. So this text that you type, the computer, the AI will actually read it in your own voice. So if I forgot to add a sponsor into a video, but I don't want to re-record it, I can literally just type, hey, this video was sponsored by, whatever. And then this AI will basically produce a voice that's just like mine. And if you put it in the podcast, nobody would even know the difference between whether I said it myself or if AI said it. Now that's very powerful because you can basically like deep fake, a lot of people with different voices, and that's kind of where the future's kind of headed anyways, right? So if you're doing something more legitimate, you're actually building a real business, you're not deep faking anyone, you can definitely use this for your YouTube videos. You can use it for podcasts, any type of audio where you want to make changes really quick without having to go back into the studio and re-record everything. This is one of the tools to use for sure. And if you kind of take this to the future as the technology gets better and better, right? Maybe the voices will be like so natural to the point where you can give it an entire paragraph and it will read that thing perfectly like it will read it in my voice. And so in that way, you can actually scale like a one-person business, like a one-personality business. So like if I wanted to do like podcasts, for example, imagine if we just got my voice and somebody actually just wrote the whole thing and I never even read it, and that goes out as a podcast and people don't even know the difference. I've never done that myself, but I kind of see the future in that being actually possible. That could be really good when it comes to like reading audiobooks, for example, right? Let's say you have different voices and different preferences of people that want to read a book. Maybe they want to hear a female voice, maybe they want to hear a different accent, or maybe they want to hear a male voice, right? And so, having AI technology to help streamline that process and make it easier and having it just as good, or if not better than if an actual human being doing it, that would be amazing. Plus it cuts the cost of labor so much more cheaper, and so more people will be able to create instead of doing like more of the mundane task, right? And so with that said, those are some of the best tools right now when it comes to AI. Definitely check it out if you are interested. And if you enjoyed this video, you want to see more AI tips, make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Let me know in the comments where you think AI is headed in the future, and I will see you in the next one.